Anyways, it's game number 5 here. Pressure is certainly on for both of these teams. 2-2, Cloud9 versus Golden Guardians on Ruins of Lordaeron.
Ruins of Lordaeron, seconds away from starting. Basically 2020 AWC tournament dreams on the line for the Golden Guardians. But even if they lose, it would be a fitting final resting place, as it is a cemetery.
And this is the final time, potentially, for you guys in the chat to let us know if we have any members of the move right now. I'm pretty sure that they need your help right here. Are they going to have a chance to stay in the competition, or will they be knocked out from qualifying to the next stage? Let's find out.
Find out right now. Let's see what they can get done. Wealthy Man pulling out the combustion very early on. Who are they going after? Looks like Peekaboo going to be taking a little bit of damage. Actually gets grounded. And I feel like Golden Guardians have a decent amount of experience in this matchup. So if the Cloud9 is not experienced in this matchup, it could go in favor of the Golden Guardians. But we'll have to wait and see. Wealthy Man just spamming out some fireballs, playing the combustion build. Full blind now onto Cubsy. Wealthy Man looking to avoid some damage. A nice Dragon's Breath disrupts Peekaboo into a grapple weapon. Good crowd control. Good defensive crowd control by Cloud9. But a full kidney shot lands. And so far, the Golden Guardians are pushing the pace.
Well, let's see if they can keep pushing the pace here. Cubsy crowd controlled. WizKid gets Ring of Peace away from his Psychic Scream. Well done by Snuts. Coming off the bench, but looking fresh here in his second game on Game 5. Coming in exactly when his team needed him on the cusp of defeat. Absurge, though, lockdown crowd control. Oh no, the pathing on the blinding light. It's so unlucky. That Ring of Frost just a centimeter away from hitting Absurge. Now he can run away. He's paralyzed instead to continue the chain. They're gunning after WizK. Trying to pull a dispersion here with a touch of death. They caught in a double leg sweep. That Vitality Conduit, though, right before the Polymorph was clutched by Absturge. One more Polymorph. Not going to really get too much, I think, with one Polymorph, unless they drop the Dressigath here. Cubsy trying to line of sight WizK. Smoke Bomb. WizK in position, trying to intercept Cubsy for a Psychic Scream, but he's playing on the outskirts. They go for a triple stun lock. Hex! Oh, cross crowd control, but Welterman does get an instant dispel. Welterman's still very low on health. Cubsy trades Sacrifice, respecting the pressure here. Not wanting to fall too far behind and having to overextend that defensive lineup. And of course, with Ineffable Truth, it is going to reset a lot more frequently than if Welterman had to use Cauterize or Ice Block. At the moment, the teams are looking evenly matched.
Yeah, and right now, Wealthy Man is in a kidney shot, taking a little bit of damage there, but now it looks like WizK is about to get set up down here. Sheep onto Peekaboo. The Ring of Peace knock it. Wealthy Man was going to land a sheep there onto Absturge potentially, but looks like he got fared on it. Now Hex coming out here onto Cubsy. They got Wealthy Man. He can't dispel it just yet, but he does get the dispel, and then Cubsy gets the counter dispel. Now WizK goes for the disarm into the silence. Big damage coming out here. Cubsy actually has to trinket right there, and that means that Peekaboo has an opportunity to blind Cubsy fully. He could just use his Blessing of Protection there. Wealthy Man's going to use his Combustion here. Nice fade here by WizK, and there it is, full blind. Cubsy's going to pop that one, and that's going to be one bump out of the way. Cubsy has no trinket as well, so it's actually, believe it or not, like a 20-second window where they're going to be able to kill Cubsy without him being able to use Bubble. Highly doubt we're going to see it, but it's there. Still going to be just going for Wealthy Man, it seems, and Snuts just building up the damage here onto WizK. I do want to see Snuts potentially look for swaps onto Peekaboo in about 30 seconds when he gets that leg sweep back, but here we go, triple CC from the Golden Guardians. Nice Hex, nice disarm into the silence. They get the kidney shot onto Wealthy Man. WizK is looking for the fear, but Snuts is just slowing and making it impossible for him to get there. Cubs is just staying on max range, trying to dish out some heals, and it looks like Wealthy Man is going to recover here.
Yeah, it looks like he will be able to hold on, but things aren't looking too bad here for the Golden Guardians. I mean, they still have all the defensive cooldowns. They're the ones pushing in, getting crowd control. Wealthy Man been on the back foot for quite some time. Looking for a full Polymorph. Finds it onto WizK. They're going for Peekaboo. He trinkets out. Good paralyzed. Hammer of Justice. Peekaboo might have to trade more. Evasion. Cloak of Shadows. Is he going to do it? The Blinding Light. And they do manage to get the Cloak of Shadows. And now, Wealthy Man, there's going to be Combustion available. There's no trinket, no Cloak of Shadows on Peekaboo. Absurge is going to have to respond, but definitely Peekaboo vulnerable as this game progresses.
Look at that Ring of Peace. Snuts intercepts WizK. He can't get to Cubsy for a Psychic Scream. Those Ring of Peace have been so clutch by Snuts here in Game 5, disrupting that crowd control chain right when Cubsy didn't have a Gladiator's Medallion. WizK, though, is still pushing for it, getting closer and closer. Cubsy's trying to avoid him, but WizK is relentless with this push towards Cubsy, waiting for Peekaboo to reconnect before going for the Psychic Scream. Peekaboo sets him up, stunning up the whole team, but WizKid just can't get there. Cubsy's pushing in for crowd control on Absterge. Who's going to get it first? WizKid snipes the Psychic Scream from downstairs on the tombstone. Kidney shot onto Wealthy Man. Absterge not going for the Hex. They're out of line of sight, deciding to just hold back, play it patiently. Psychic Scream not long enough. They go for the Quaking Palm. Do they have a Psychic Horror out of this? They don't. The chain's a little bit disjointed here from the Golden Guardians. Now the Psychic Horror into the silence. They really need to get a cauterized with this push. Peekaboo's in trouble. Stunned up. Big burst from Snuts with that whirling Dragon Punch. Peekaboo gonna feint it, but his healer is still crowd controlled. Fortunately, Absterge did pre-earthen wall that entire assault. Nice read by Absterge, anticipating this extended crowd control chain, but Peekaboo doesn't feel too safe. He's gonna use evasion as well. Snuts is gonna switch targets back to WizK. And once again, these teams look so evenly matched, but I would say that Cloud9 are establishing a lead. Look at Absterge's mana.
Yeah, it's looking good so far for Cloud9. They have all of their cooldowns as well. They're going to have that bubble. Peekaboo's going to just use his blind as well. Cubsy has his trinket for it lined up. And now, full sheep onto Absterge. WizK is in a little bit of trouble. He knows it. He activates the fade. Wealthy Man is in a kidney shot. Kind of defensive kidney shot. He blinks the dress they got there. A little bit unfortunate for Peekaboo. Should have used it a second earlier while he was still stunned. The slapper is going to proc here onto WizK. Big damage coming in, but Cubsy's silenced as well. Wealthy Man taking a big hit as well. Who's going to fall first? Absterge going for the healing waves. He needs to be a little bit careful though. Can't waste too much mana right now. Absterge dropping to about 20-30-ish%. And C9 looks like they're in the winner's seat right now. Full disarm going out onto Peekaboo. And Snuts going to get dispelled from that Hex right there. And now Wealthy Man still looking for some CC here. But both teams right now don't really have any real kill opportunities. Here we go. Full blind onto Absterge. Can I get the Ring of Frost? The unlucky pathing again. They do get it, but they overlap with the Hammer of Justice. Big damage coming into the leg sweep here by Snuts. But WizK is going to activate the Fade. The Ring of Peace him actually out of line of sight there. So Absterge should walk all the way around. Excellently done by Snuts. He needs to be careful. Drestigath could come out here, WizK. On match point, but he is going to hold on because of that Vitality Conduit, and Golden Guardians stay alive.
Yeah, Golden Guardians stay alive, and I mean, it can't be understated how important this match is for the Golden Guardians. If they lose this, their dreams are going to be over, and they might just lose right now. Polymorph onto Absterge, he trinkets out. That's going to be the Void Shift as well as the trinket from Absterge. Panic mode from the Golden Guardians, definitely not good. They're not out of it yet. I mean, WizK still has his trinket. There still is a Spirit Link, but this is a rough spot for the Golden Guardians to be in. I almost think that they should start pulling back and playing a little bit defensive. Their cooldowns aren't lined up very nicely, but they're going to continue to be aggressive in the match. This could definitely backfire for them. Look at how overextended WizK is, but they're going for it. Hammer of Justice on Peekaboo. Are they making a swap onto the Rogue? It looks like they are going to do it. Wealthy Man getting bursted down at the same time. Temporal Shield going out onto Wealthy Man. WizK gets interrupted. Dragon's Breath on Absterge, and they are swapping over onto WizK. This is the combustion. WizK in a lot of trouble. Here's the Fade, just trying to avoid some of that damage. He gets kicked. It looks like there will be no more crowd control onto Absterge. Immediate ascendance. Might have to drop the Spearling Totem as well. The Golden Guardians managed to hold on, and Peekaboo just going for Cubsy, and a bit of a hero swap right now, but the Divine Favor should be enough for Cubsy to survive. But all of the Golden Guardian members, they're just chasing after Cubsy. Can they take him down, power through the Avenging Wrath? I think it's unlikely, especially with Snuts peeling Peekaboo right now. The disarm comes in, Snuts snaring him up, but the full kidney shot lands. Cubsy trinkets, the Golden Guardian, they're just going for it. Can they take down Cubsy? There is a Master Spell available. Keep that in mind. The Silent comes in. Can they get the Divine Shield? Can they get the Master Spell? Are they just going to take down Peekaboo? Peekaboo in a lot of trouble. He trinkets out. He's got the evasion. He has the Cloak of Shadows. Doesn't want to overlap if he can, but they're just going to continue this train onto Cubsy. Cubsy looks like he's finally able to escape and buy just a little bit of time, but such a scary moment. Peekaboo's still not out of it yet. If he has to trade up the Cloak of Shadows, it's going to be an absolute nightmare, but man, this is such a high-pressure game.
I think attacking Cubsy is the right move. You hex the mage on cooldown. You don't go after the high versatility targets. It's do or die. At this point, it's dire straits. They need to kill Cubsy. Peekaboo Shadow steps in to finish it. WizK's cleaving down Wealthy Man. Maybe WizK can snipe out Wealthy Man while Peekaboo pressures Cubsy. This is looking way better right now for the Golden Guardians, despite being so massively behind. If they can keep this momentum, the strategy change at 9 minutes in, right when everything was looking so horrible for the Golden Guardians, they might be able to pull off a miracle. Triple blinding light, though, by Cubsy. They're looking to deny the kill. Abster's trinkets. He drops the link. He links the poly. He breaks himself out. And now breaking that crowd control chain, what are their options? A Divine Shield, 2 Bop, 1 Sack, Avenging Wrath Paladin, a Cauterize Ice Block Mage, a Karma Fort Brew Monk. I mean, all the defense is there for Cloud9. They're working with such a limited amount of mana, a limited amount of time. They just had to use Dispersion. It does at least trade for the Touch of Death. They're dropping the Psy Fiend. They're desperate. WizK's moving in onto Cubsy, trying to get crowd control. If they don't get a Master Spell during the chain, he pre-sacks the blind. A nice play there by Cubsy. Wealthy Man trying to get bursted, or not the blind. What was the pre-sack there on? Now a stun lock on the sack, waiting for it to end before going for the Psychic Stream. They're just going through sack. Sack's over. Big Dressing got dropped by Peekaboo, trying to pull off the miracle. Temporal Shield ticking away. Big Divine Favor gets blinded. He bops off the blind. They could swap while he's on Forbearance. That might be a big opening. Smoke Bomb, double Psychic Scream. Wealthy Man blinks away, but they're pushing for the caught. Can they get the block here? They're so close. The Golden Guardians are so close. But Cubsy has Avenging Wrath up and big heals, but Peekaboo's pressuring him. Can they do it? Everybody's locked in crowd control. Cloud9 look to close. Combustion gets popped. Huge pressure from Wealthy Man. WizK trying to strip off the Combustion, managing to pull it off there. Psy-Fiend's on Wealthy Man. Snut's going to punch it away. Cubsy's Avenging Wrath just came up again. Big Holy Lights. Both teams stabilized, but Absterge has no mana.
Oh, he drops the Mana Tide though. I think he's going to get a little bit of mana here. Dress comes in, foam Snuts onto WizK. He has to power through with that big Vampiric Embrace. The Shadowman's coming in, Silence, plus the Root here onto Cubsy. They need more crowd control. Cubsy's going to get a Divine Favor. He tops Wealthy Man a little bit with it. Here, WizK is so dead here. 5 seconds on the Dispersion. No Void Shield to mind control. He doesn't have
3
anything
seconds, 2
here.
seconds,
Couple
1
of more
second,
seconds.
1 second.
He's going to get the Dispersion off here. Excellently done. Absterge in a full blind. No trinket. How is he going to survive? WizK's going for the fear. Can they do it? Can he turn the thing around here? Wealthy Man can get pressured here, but still WizK is so low here. Absterge finally comes out of the stun, finally comes out of the fear, drops the Earthenwall Totem, gets the Vitality Conduit, and he is going to keep WizK alive for a little bit longer, but now they need to go. Golden Guardians, can they get the Psychic Scream? They get the Disarm, but no more follow-up, and there's a Sheep here onto Peekaboo. Absterge barely has enough mana to even dispel it. They get a full Silence onto Cubsy, and Wealthy Man is taking so much damage. WizK trinkets out of the leg sweep right here, and he's going to go and stack up with Absterge. I think he fades the Touch of Death hit there as well, so WizK really doing anything he can to save Absterge's mana. Absterge in a counterspell, Snuts in a Quaking Palm, Mind Control gets casted out onto Snuts. Absterge, where's the Hex though? He's just going for healing waves, trying to keep his teammates alive, and there it is, full Hex onto Cubsy, but Wealthy Man gets bopped and dispels it, and I don't know who's going to win this game, but it's looking like C9.
This is absolutely insane. Both these teams are playing out of their minds in this game number 5 on Ruins of Lordaeron. Peekaboo getting disarmed. Absterge with no trinket. He does have the Spirit Link. There is the cap, and Snuts is looking to close out the game. They managed to get the Void Chip, but now Peekaboo's in trouble. Cloak of Shadows, he has the evasion. This is such a tense moment, but a full fear now into Cubsy. Wealthy Man, can he live? The silence on the trinket. Great job there by WizK. He has Dispersion coming up in just a few short seconds. I feel like Peekaboo is the best target now for Cloud9. They can make a big swap on Peekaboo with this incoming leg sweep, but maybe they just want to shut down WizK. Kidney Shot onto Wealthy Man. Both these teams are running on fumes in terms of mana, defensive cooldowns, 50% dampening. This game is going to end here very soon here, Sid.
Oh no, the crowd control is engaging. Absterge is locked down. They have to stop Polymorph at all costs. Peekaboo kicks it. He's gunning for the kill. Cauterize triggers. Sacrifices up. Will it be enough here? Divine Favor bombs in. Wealthy Man on the run. Snuts trying to solo WizK here. Will he be able to clutch it out? He grapple weapons. Peekaboo stabilizing Wealthy Man back on target onto WizK. Spirit Link Totem. The last line of defense. They need a 3-player Spirit Link. There's no way 2 players is going to be enough. But the stun locks come in from the Golden Guardians, and what could be the final setup of the game? Silence out of the stun. They need a Master Spell on this Ice Block if they're going to win. Cubsy Divine Shields with the Avenging Wrath. Big heals. They get Divine Shield. They get blocked. WizK's trying to stabilize here. He needs a couple seconds to that Spirit Link. 1 more second to the Spirit Link. Absterge is out of crowd control. WizK fades. They're trying to be greedy, holding on to that as the last ditch effort. They're getting their trinkets back. They're in a winning position. They're in a checkmate position. The Golden Guardians can keep their 2020 AWC dreams alive right here on the next Silence. It's up in 20 seconds. Maybe they just win with the bomb. Peekaboo drops the Smoke Bomb. He's powering in with tons of damage. Cubsy's totally tapped. Absterge is totally tapped. They drop the link. They grip him into the link to get the 3-player Spirit Link clutch play by WizK right before going down. They just need to keep pushing a little bit longer. Wealthy Man blinks in, clutches out a full poly. Absterge trinkets. They drop the dressing gas. Cubsy gets stunned up. Who's going to fall? This could go down to a 2 versus 2 at this point. Wealthy Man in the kidney. Cubsy's got no cooldown. Snuts in the Hex. Shadow Step kick from Peekaboo off off to the side. One more second left on the interrupt, but Peekaboo could fall. He faints at 10%. And are they going to pull it off? Drestiga comes in for Peekaboo, but Peekaboo falls. Can WizK finish the... WizK snipes him! We're going into 2v2!
This
My
is
goodness.
unbelievable.
This is just insane. I think this is the first time in the round robin we get a 2v2 here. WizK, Cubsy, WizK Absturge versus Cubsy Snuts. He gets a fear onto Snuts. WizK has to use his dispersion. Absturge has the mana lead right now. He has all of his defensive cooldowns, but we are at 58% dampening. WizK, he just needs to get some dots up here onto Snuts. Cubsy sitting down for a drink. They can't let him get it. Absturge doing a great job here, keeping him in combat with the Earth Elemental here, but it's not attacking right now. I'm not sure. WizK is by himself here, but he has Void Form active and he's winning the 1v1 against Snuts. Absturge finally gonna have that pet now attacking Cubsy. Big damage coming in onto WizK. He's gonna drop the totem. He gets knocked out of it by the Ring of Peace. Snuts smells blood in the water. If they lose this, the Golden Guardians have no way to qualify for the next stage here of the round robin. They have to try to win right now. They get a full hex. Snuts ports out of there. WizK channeling out the big mind flays, and now he's gonna look to dot up Cubsy here as well. I don't know who's gonna take this 2v2 here, man.
Oh, I have no idea. 63% dampening. I feel like if Cubsy can recover his mana, it's a winning position for Cloud9. Golden Guardians, WizK and Absturge trying to keep their dreams alive. A fear comes in. Cubsy immediately trinkets it. Snut still has his Fortifying Brew. He has basically everything left. I think Cubsy is probably the best target at this point in the game, but it's really difficult for WizK to get out that damage. Snuts is just beating on him. Fists of Fury. He's got the leg sweep. He's got the spear hand strike, and Cubsy's just line of sighting. Just to buy just a moment of time for Absturge. It does look like he will be able to use the Pandaren Racial onto Snuts, but now WizK pushing in. He may have overextended, and this is looking worse and worse for the Golden Guardians.
Oh, they drop Earthen Wall. I don't think it's enough. I think it's just disperse the Touch of Death. It's going to be a big hit this deep into dampening. Ring of Peace on Absturge's heal. He does disperse it. Gets on top of Cubsy. He's not stopping the drink. He actually got one tick of drink there. WizK's got basically nothing, and Snuts is just tearing in. They triggered out a Blinding Light into a Paralyzed. They get Vitality Conduit. Golden Guardians are battling their hearts out here, but this is such a difficult matchup. They hex Snuts. They're desperate. They're just trying to stay alive. 70% dampening. They're waiting for the silence. They're waiting for the psychic horror. What are the opportunities? Divine Shield Sacrifice, Karma, Diffuse. There's way more than enough defense for Cloud9 at this point. They just need to get a little bit more damage out onto WizK. Absturge is working with nothing. Huge hit from Snuts. Where's the Spirit Link? I feel like it's too greedy to hold it. They fear Snuts. They silence Cubsy. They're desperate to try and stay in this. Mind Control in the fist, maybe on the Storm, Earth, and Fire. They grip him close, just try and deny the Paralyze, but WizK gets interrupted. Spirit Link in 1 second, but not in time. And Cloud9 dash the dreams of the Golden Guardians. You couldn't ask for this to be any closer.
Absolutely
Wow.
heartbreaking on the side of Golden Guardians. Cloud9 winning that series 3-2, but how incredibly well fought that was from both sides, Ben.